Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. Let me thank a couple of people here since my last video. Midge let me know that she lives about 70 miles from Chicago here in the United States. Tammy at Mindful Creative wrote one of the most lovely compliments to me that I've ever received. Tammy, it was absolutely humbling to read that comment. Thank you so much. Sandy suggested that for one of my Quick Tip Thursdays, we explore things that are around the house that we can use in crafting that don't cost any money at all. She suggested things like envelopes and packaging things, things that come with in your vegetables, stuff like that. So I'm going to look into that. Lori at Piles of Paragraphs suggested that there is a place called the Art Resource Center in Tempe, Arizona, that has a good place to get least expensive art supplies. And then Candy is a new subby, so thanks for joining me, and let's get right into this video. For this journal, I have decided that I'm going to do 5 signatures. And I recently had a subscriber ask me how I came up with what papers I was going to use in the journal. And so I've decided on 5 signatures. I have gotten my template together, and then I pulled together all of my papers. And this is what I have decided on. These papers over here are the rejects. And it's not that they're not good papers to have in your journal. It's just that when I flip through my journal, as I'm putting my papers together, I have to first put a bunch in, and then I will put my papers inside the journal, set them in there. Let me get this out of the way. I will set them in there, and if it's too much of a gator mouth, then I got to pull some papers out. And this is getting close, but this is what I've come up with. So as I looked at what the journal will look like when it's on its side, is I see some green and then purple, then there's gold, purple, green. When I put the papers in the journal, this purple was first here, and I did not like the way the purple was right with the purple. So then I started with green. So I did green, purple, gold, and then I was going to repeat the process and do green and purple. But again, I didn't like the purple on the back with the purple here. So I rearranged them, and I've done green, purple, gold, then purple again, and then green. So green is on the outside of the last signature, and it's on the outside of the first signature. And then I flip my pages and I think about what's going to be there. Now, over here will be some lace. There'll be a pocket here. I will put something here. So to me, as I look at that, that looks upside down. So I need to flip it over. So it's like that. That looks the correct way. So what you need to do is flip your pages, look, flip your pages, look, flip your pages and look, and decide, does it look well? Okay, there's going to be color here, so that's okay. This doily piece was sticking out too far, so I glued it down so that, number one, it doesn't tear, and number two, it wasn't sticking out when you look at the journal from here, because I want to make sure that I see this color. So that is okay. That's okay. This page here, I had done some, I had glued this digital on top of it, and then I used a border punch over it. This looks okay. The green with the green kind of flows to me. This is okay. This is okay. And then that is the center of the signature of the first one. And again, okay, now I look at this. As I look at this, this is upside down. So I need to turn it over. That's the correct way. And I will do this multiple times just to make sure before I sew my signatures in that everything looks correct. So far, that one is good. The next one, and then when I lay it over to the side, I turn it over. Then that way I don't make a mistake by accidentally having something upside down. So let's look at this. Okay, I like that. It's okay. It's not my favorite. This looks okay, I believe. That's okay. Then I have book page, some gold here, and what I've decided is this to be the center. So when you open up this signature, this is what you're going to see. I will probably do a little bit of decorating. Again, but once I decorate this with a pocket or something, it will probably be okay. So that one's okay. This is the gold. Again, something's going to be there. I like this there. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not totally happy with this yet, but it's not completely done. This is okay. I like that. She's faced up, and then this is my center. So I like the butterfly there. I think we're okay with this one. Again, there's a pocket here. There'll be lots of decorating going on. Next one. That one looks okay. She's the correct orientation. I've got a digital and a digital. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this. I'm going to put it to where we've got this, then a digital, then a book page, then another digital. So do you see why I changed that? Then we've got that. And then this was the one I did a tutorial on this. So I need to make sure this is going to be correct. So when it's sewn in and this opens up, you're going to see that girl. And that is the center of that signature. So I think we're okay there. Yep, that looks okay. So do you see kind of what my thought process is for this? Let's do that. I like those two together. The writing is the correct orientation. We're good there. We're good there. One thing you could do too is, don't forget, if you want, you could flip this and have that like that. And I think I'll just do that. No specific reason. It just is, it's just appealing. And then this is the center of this signature. I did a tutorial on the center of signatures and how to make them kind of stand out. This was one of them. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're looking good. Okay. I think that's good. So that's kind of my thought process. And believe me, this is not going to be the last time I flip through this before I sew it in, because there's nothing worse than sewing in signatures and then realizing there's a page upside down or it doesn't flow well. So what I did is I took my template and I glued it on a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. Then I poked my holes using my template of where they needed to go. And then I laid my signature down next to the template, and then with a pencil marked it, and then poked the holes through it. It's a 5-hole pamphlet stitch that I do. And if you want your papers to have the inside of the signature not have the string, but have the string on the outside, you need to start on the outside. And I'm going to show you how I do that. I don't cut my wax thread in advance. The reason being, I learned that you don't have to, that it ends up wasting it. So I go through my first middle hole and then through the signature, come up through the top, and then just grab a hold of the thread and pull it through. Then I go down through the next hole and then down through the hole through the cardboard. It may be hard to see, but I went through that hole and then came up through this hole. And as it gets taut here, then I reach behind and I grab the tail. Then I go back through this one and through the signature. And then back down through here. Making sure to look in between the page itself and the cardboard to make sure I'm not splitting the thread. And then I pull that tight. Okay, so that was that too. Then I come down to this second to the bottom one, go in, pull it all the way through. Then when it's taut, I pull my tail through. Then I go down through this bottom one and catch the bottom hole of my template. Again, grab a hold of my tail. Now, you see this is loose. That's okay, because if I pull the end of my thread itself, it's going to tighten up, and then pulling this side, and that's tightened up. So they've tightened up. Then I'm going to go back through this one here. Oh, I left out there, just went right through it. And then back down through the center one. And hopefully, again, I look to make sure I'm not catching and splitting the thread. So you kind of have to kind of look and finagle it and move that one thread that's hooked onto the roll and pull it to one side. I hope I got it. Let's see, need to look close. No, I didn't catch it. So then I can pull the entire tail through, take my needle off, make sure one side of the tail is on one side of my book and the other end that's hooked onto my spool is on the other side. Pull them both taut so that I make sure my signature is tight. And what I always do is I open it up and I look down this edge here, make sure it's tight, and then I open it up from this side and take a look down here and make sure it's tight. So I kind of will jiggle it and make sure they're both tight, and then I pull on them. And usually with wax thread, you're not going to rip your paper. Just do a double knot, trim off my edges, the tips, and that's all I've wasted there. And I still have my big thing of waxed thread there. I always make sure I go ahead right away, put my needle in there, pull off my clips, and you can see it's tight on all the sides. So that's how I do my 5-hole pamphlet stitch. So before I glue in my signatures, there's just one small thing here, and you might notice it. So I decided not to put fabric over this like I sometimes do and glue it to here. I'm gonna leave this just like it is. And this is down in this little indentation right there. That is the stabilizer. And even though once I glue the signatures in, you're barely going to see this. But to me, that's one small little detail for the eye that I think as journal makers, we should pay attention to. So I'm just taking some of my gold acrylic paint and I'm just going down this small area right here, and I'm going to paint it so that it looks just a little bit better before I sew in those signatures. Well, as I was working on the journal, I just started completing it. So actually, I will explain some things, but it's really a flip through now. So I'm going to just move it over here to the side a little bit and open it up. What I ended up doing is I sewed a hanky here on as a pocket. Then I have my standard letter to whoever purchases this journal. It's how to actually use a journal. I have put in a label that says this journal belongs to. I added a little washi tape here. To make my doily pages a little bit stronger, I always add some little something to the paper so it's a little bit stronger. There's a small belly band thing there with a journaling card. This is a fold out. I'm going to bring it over this way, and as you pull it out, you can journal here, you can journal here. It flips over to the other side, you can see, and is an accordion fold in, and so you can also journal here. In one of my videos, I think it was a Quick Tip Thursday, I had put some glossy accents on some things, and I had adhered a strip of those jeweled stones here, so it's glossy accents. I added a lot of lace to the pages. This is a small little pocket with 5 different cards in it. Some of them are cigarette cards and some of them are from various little digital kits. There's a bird one, a couple of flower ones, a lady one there. There's some border punching here on both of these sides. And then I added a couple of the glossy accents on each corner of the page. Some lace on this page. Here is a corner tuck here, and this is a double journaling card with belly band. This is French book page, Italian book page, and so you can journal back here, and then you can also journal on here, and that just slips in there and then slips in the pocket here. This is just a little flip up there. I added a glossy accents piece there. This music page folds out. And then I added a pocket here with a journaling card. This was from the Feast of Florals. I believe it was Feast of Florals. It may be Jane Eyre. Anyway, Medieval Mirage. Again, a little glossy accent piece here, doubled it to make a tab. And again, like I said, this is vellum here, and I add it to strengthen the doily pages. Just a little washi tape there. Beautiful coffee stained paper on both sides there. A little tab here. Again, these have the glossy accents on the page. Lace Italian book page there. Some beautiful gold trim. Just a little bit of an embellishment there. My center of the signature with a little gold tab that I sewed. There's lots of writing space in this journal. Beautiful vintage lace there. Again, little embellishment up there. This is from my Italian ledger book, and if you notice on a lot of the pages, I have added gold paint. There's a pocket here, and I've included a French paper. I'm not sure if there's a date. I don't see a date, but a French paper there, then an onion skin French letter. And again, it just says, I think that's June 19th. And then a little tag in that pocket. This flips out here. A small little embellishment there. Lots and lots of lace. And as you can see, as I turn the pages, you can see a lot of lace on the edges. This page, I love this page. I did a tutorial on the center of your signatures. This is a die cut butterfly with some gold thread behind it, and it's just glued in there, and then the signatures, the thread is sewn down the middle. I hope this gives you some ideas and inspiration. There's a pocket here with a large journaling card. Again, it has some French and Italian book page. Nice little corner tuck there with a tag. A glassine bag here with some fabric on it, and then a big tag that fits right in there. Italian book page here, a little jeweled emblem there with glossy accents, some gold lace there. Lots of border punching. And then I did do a tutorial on this. I love how this page came out. So it's the page here with the door. And then when you open the door, you see that lovely lady there. And as you turn the page, there she is there. I really do like how that turned out. A corner tuck here, Italian, from the, I'm sure the 1800s. I think it's probably dictionary page with a large tag. And you can still, even though there is some writing here, you can journal all along there. And then another journaling card. What I did is I added lace around part of it. This is Hebrew here, Hebrew book page. Just a little bit of embossed paper. And again, like I said, some lace up at the top. I did a tutorial on this. It is a 3 corner tuck page with little tags. And then this last one here. I wish I could remember where I bought that trim, because I do like it, and I'm running low in it, but I do like it. I've got just a couple of little gems here on their head and a little bit of lace. Like I said, lots of lace, lots of trim. A pocket here. This again is Hebrew book page from the 1800s. And envelope. With some string tied around it, and then a journaling card in there with just a tiny little bit of lace here. As I was watching the video to edit it, I realized that I had just flipped this page over like that and had skipped this part of the journal. This was part of that video I did where you embellish the center of your pages, and this is just a really thin piece of chipboard that I glued in the center there. My color scheme throughout, as you can see, is mainly greens, purples, and golds. On this card here, I added a little bit of lace there and then some green trim on top. And then on this one, I believe I did do a tutorial on this. This was when I did the ugly cards and transformed them. And this is part of a doily here. I've got some of this fuzzy cotton tape here and just a little bit of purple fabric on top of it. And then in the very back, there is a 3-pocket area. Got a little Renaissance woman there, a butterfly. And I originally had a different picture, small little picture there, but it was of a present day little girl, or maybe from the 1930s, and it didn't fit. So I added this little Renaissance lady on top of that original picture, but I do like the color scheme here. In this tag, there is a little envelope there that you can journal on. I just love it. I think it's so cute. And then the next larger journaling card has this beautiful pearl trim on the top of it, some German book page. It's quite large. And then in the last one, a beautiful bird cage and a butterfly. So anyway, that is the flip through of this journal. When this airs, how does this go? When this airs, I will have put this in my Etsy store for sale. So if you would like it, just go on over and I will get it off into the mail to you. But I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Thanks so much for joining me today for this little flip through. I hope it gave you inspiration, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks, and bye-bye.